Good evening, friends, and welcome to FCTV's Poetic License. This is July 2024. My name is Donna Shear, and I'm so happy to be your host tonight. The theme for July is music, 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 and we are evidently going to have a lot of poetry and music today, which is just ducky by me. Some announcements. The gallery at FCTV here in the studio has a beautiful new show. It's now through August of 2024. The show is called Magical Seashells, and the 3D shell and rock artist's name is Donna Eccles. This month's program of Falmouth in Focus concentrates on the newly acquired Zielinski Farm at Thomas B. Landers Road, which was donated to the 300 Committee, More Green Space, More Green Space. And also the Land Trust's headquarters is going to be moved there. There's also a piece about Spore Garden off the Shining Sea bike path. If you've never been there, please, please go. It's so gorgeous. And another about the fabulous farmers market every Thursday, noon to 5 at the Marine Field on Falmouth Harbor, which is a wonderful place to get fresh vegetables and jellies and you name it, they got it. Also, a reminder that the 52nd annual running of the Falmouth Road Race will be taped live by FCTV as it has been for many, many years. That's going to be on Sunday, August 18th. And now, a little note about becoming a member of the FCTV family. I'm a proud member, and wonder of wonder, single membership is still only $30 annually. It helps support this wonderful nonprofit organization. And when you get your membership card, whether it's single or a family one, you have access to a 10% discount to all kinds of cool things. Bucatino's Restaurant and Wine Bar, Eastman's Hardware, North Falmouth Cheese Shop, The Quarter Deck, Falmouth Florist, Village Lamp and Repair Shop, Gelfie's Candies of Cape Cod, Bespoke Studios, and John's Liquor Store. There's a little something for everybody. And now, on with the show. Hello, dear performers. I am so happy to see you here tonight. You do have a 4-minute time limit. We have, I introduce you by name before you come up to the mic, but please reintroduce yourself. Say your name again so people get it, hear it again. We have 3 first-time brand new performers at Poetic License, and when they each take the stage, let's be sure to give them a rousing welcome for having the courage to come to Poetic License for a live taping and show us their stuff. I'm going to start us off. I grew up in the city of Chicago, and my dad was the one who introduced me to classical music as well as jazz. But even before that, I was influenced by the music of the city. And so these are the sounds of my childhood. And the poem is called First Music, Chicago. Red vinyl record captures my brother and me plashing in bath bubbles, our voices bright as pocket full of coins. At the Jewish bakery, sweet tinkle of bell melds with the smells of rye bread and sugar. Arthur Godfrey and his ukulele wisecrack on the radio, while pixelated in black and white, Kukla, Fran, and Ollie shrill falsetto against low-pitch loony. A cuckoo clock wheezes on the hour. The seesawing squeak and squawking creak of a swing in the schoolyard, swinging so high I can hear the angels sing. Jesus loves the little children. Gospel music jumps up under the Baptist roof, and beneath the shagbark hickory trees, Ohio uncles are pickin' and pluckin' at a rural picnic. The great roar of Grandpa's snores rattles the china. Daddy oompas on the baritone. Sizzle of bacon, whoosh of the pantry door, thwack of golf balls on the rooftops. Over cityscape pavement, my shush of roller skates hiss with a sh-chick at the grooves in between. After Now I Lay Me, prayers to the man upstairs, the neighborhood sighs. My twin brother and I close our eyes, lulled by the sounds of a distant traffic lullaby. Thank you. And now, Elaine Robinson, welcome you to the microphone. I hope there's a mermaid in my future.
My name is Elaine Robinson, and I was delighted with this theme tonight, music, because it's another theme I get stuck on when I write poetry. However, my music is in the fantasy realm of things. So, our poems, 6 short poems about sea creatures making music. So we're going to start with Seahorse Symphony. Using their tails to master the instruments, soft sounds of strings and flutes flow through the vast ocean, tiny seahorses creating harmony and pleasurable notes in a symphony hall made of coral. An audience of starfish, sponges, sea dragons, and others listen to the soothing sounds of the Seahorse Symphony. Bigfoot meets a starfish. He is large and in charge, so he thinks. But a golden starfish chases North America's most popular primate along a sandy beach. She laughs at him. What a strange human. He yells back, I am not human. She chuckles and sings. A sea dweller who carries a tune. The giant ape stops, listens. The musical notes flow like salty water in a tranquil realm. He enjoys the melody. Her points sway in rhythm, like waves embracing the shore. He remains with her for a while, as she carries on with musical renditions of popular tunes. Her appendages wave as he meanders away, reminding himself of the strange beings outside his forest home. But he knows he will return to find the talented starfish. Next, we have Marvelous Marvin the mollusk. Marvelous Marvin, a musical mollusk playing his trumpet, soft at dusk. Clams are God's creation. Marvin is no exception. His variety of talent freely flows, dancing, singing, his trumpet blows. Waves roll across the wet sand. Marvin entertains sea creature land. Starfish come alive with colors. Whales sing songs to brothers. Dolphins, seals, pelicans come to call. Marvelous Marvin entertains them all. Then we have King Crab. The ocean has a special crab, the only Elvis impersonator of the sea. One day on the beach, he wore blue suede shoes. When a horse, Long Tall Sally, arrives for a visit, her companion, a hound dog, barks at the dancing crustacean. A 50s atmosphere emerges as crab, dog, horse wiggle, woof, and neigh. Back to some more starfish here. Starfish fiddlers. Colorful starfish fiddle away, sea notes and tunes they play. A unicorn trots along in glee. The beach is the place to be. Music unites the happy fish. To the soul is their wish. Points that play with bows. Up, up, a breaching whale goes. Dolphins fly through the air. Violins and starfish so rare. They play their songs, then wave so long. Again on the wet sand, fiddling starfish so grand. And last but not least, we have merry minnows. Sulking, sobbing, tears like chunks of ice. The killer whale weeps over his plight. Dumped by his mate, thrown out of the pod. Tiny laughter reaches his insides, almost musical with a steady flow of ha ha, ho hee ho. The teeny fish offer the Leviathan solace and friendship. He consumes the merry voices into his being. Companions need not be large. As one as he is alone, with the merry minnows he belongs. Mammal and fish swim together. Songs are sung. A tail flips. The ocean is bright. He feels happy, and he swims with minnows. That's it.
Thanks, Elaine. I can always count on you for something fantastical. And so to have all those sea critters making music is just right for tonight. Thank you. Next, we have a longtime friend, Lisa Cantor. I am so happy to see you here tonight. Come on up.
La 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 la, 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 la 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 la. Mourning my mother, Part 1. Grieving, Day 8. As Shiva ends, I am waiting, I am floating, I am crying, I am numb, I am crossing things off the list. Is this grieving? I am dreaming, I am clenching my teeth as I try to sleep, I am sleeping as if drugged, I am napping, I cannot sleep. Is this grieving? I am connecting deeply with a good friend. I am avoiding social contact. I crave silence. I am overeating. I have no appetite. Is this grieving? I am lost. I am clear. I am grounded. I am confused. I am hopeful. Is this grieving? I cannot remember her. I picture every one of her last moments when I least want to. I cannot bear how her life ended. I am grateful her struggle is over. Is this grieving? This is grieving. For now. This is my grieving. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. An unobstructed view, Part 2. Opening day, and Sad shuffled through the rows with her box of popcorn and her bag of sorrows, tripping over lesser ticket holders, eschewing the cheaper bleacher seats, until she found the prime seat, an unobstructed view. She paid no mind to the fact that this seat was already taken. No fair weather fan, I sat steady on the slatted wooden chair, ticketed this season, as always, sunglasses and hat shielding my face. I was stunned as she sat heavily on my lap. Leaning back as though she owned the whole show, she relaxed and stretched her arms skyward, relieved she'd finally located her rightful place, heedless that she made it hard for me to breathe. I tried to speak, but simply could not. Seeking aid, I turned my head to look desperately, helplessly, to one side, then the other. I craned my neck and tried to find from others beside me a signal, some signal, that this troubling, impossible mistake would be reversed. Then, someone scored and everyone cheered, and just for a moment, the awful pressure released as Sad stood up to applaud with the crowd. But then, as others did around her, she sat back down to watch the game. In this stadium of spectators, Sad seemed determined to stay this day. And so, together, we watched our team play. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. In Lieu of Flowers, Part 3. In lieu of flowers, please get out of your own way. Clear the fog from your window and see clearly how extraneous so many of your worries are. In lieu of flowers, clear out the junk in your life that steals hours and minutes each day, leaving you bloated and longing for nourishment. In lieu of flowers, do what I couldn't. Pick up where I left off. Take your next courageous steps. In lieu of flowers, hold me in memory kindly. I may have failed you. Remember how hard this human condition is for all of us, and be wise and fair. In lieu of flowers, you know exactly what to do. Live boldly. Discard the unnecessary fears. Keep the important ones, of course. And live as your honest, harmonic, enormous, brilliant painting. Spread yourself generously across the canvas and take the risk to see what you've left behind. In lieu of flowers, please live the way life can be, full of you. Share yourself, open your wings to song and dance, and bring your unique flavor to those still around to enjoy you. In the end, in lieu of flowers, simply be the bouquet you had wished to send. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie.
Lisa, my heart is with you. That was so beautiful. I thought the first one was going to be my favorite because it talked about grieving, and we've all been there. But then the third one comes, and you be the bouquet that's going to color the rest of the world. Beautiful messages in all three poems. Thank you so much. And speaking of flowers, Sophia Flowers, it's your turn. Come up, my dear. And she is a new performer, so let's give her a big, huge round of applause.
Well, thank you for having me. My name is Sophia Flowers. I'm a Cape Cod local poet, writer, and author of the forthcoming novel A Brush with Danger, which is a locally set murder mystery with mystical and speculative elements. It's about a used bookshop owner who finds a mysterious piece of art, and upon trying to learn more about it, stumbles into a dangerous web of dark secrets and hidden truths. So I highly encourage you to visit my website, sophiaflowersbooks.info. You can learn more. I also teach several classes in Hyannis, from fiction writing to poetry, and we're going to be having a live poetry slam in September. So I'm very happy to be here. It was Sue Carlson who invited me. I want to thank her. I know she's not here, which is I was so sorry to hear, but I'm very grateful for her invitation, and I thank you all for having me here tonight. It's an honor and a privilege. I have two poems for you tonight that relate in one way or another to the theme music, music, music. The first one is called The Sound of Music, and the second one is called All Songs Sing to It. So thank you again. The Sound of Music by Sophia Flowers. There is an old saying, if a tree falls in the forest with no one there to hear it, does it make a sound? Some have said, what is the sound of one hand clapping? And others yet, what is the sound of music? And I think I've found the answer after very much research. It is the sound of a heart breaking. It is the sound of the spring rain. It is the sound of a new radical. It is the sound of the arcane. It is the sound of a wave, the rise and the fall. It is the sound of the grave. It is the sound of love's call. It is the sound of mistakes. It is the sound of the glass. It is the sound of the future. It is the sound of the past. It is the sound of the glacial ice. It is the sound of idle chat. It is the sound of two mice kissing. It is the sound of the cat. It is the sound of not knowing. It is the sound of to know. It is the sound of the wilting. It is the sound of to grow. It is the sound of God. It is the sound of Sheol. It is the sound of the birds. It is the sound of the soul. It is the sound of to party. It is the sound of to mourn. It is the sound of to die. It is the sound of to be born. And being born, we are born unto the crest of life's wind. I will do more research. It may never end. I look forward to reporting back to you with more discoveries soon. All Songs Sing to It by Sophia Flowers. The morning came fresh and new, like an untouched bloom, serene, as if born again after the storm which had broken just before dawn. The sun glittered in the raindrop-saturated dew upon the fine meadow grasses and moss, the great oak trees dripping a percussion. In the garden sported soft gems of flower light, bold pinks and reds and blues, purples in between, crystallized in water. The breeze was cool and sweet, and love was in the air. The birds lifted up a voice for it, choired, hymned. The bees did their work in harmony, beauty, buzzing, honey like an amber gold in their mind's eye. More than romance alone, it was more, an abundance of the altogether, the wholeness of the truest love, something that happens not only between two, but between the divine and all the world, the cup running over, the overflowing of the heart. A song like no other, all songs sing to it. Thus we say rejoice often. For good reason, let us say it again. Rejoice, rejoice. Alleluia. Amen. Thank you.
Sophia, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, so much packed into those two beautiful poems. I loved specifically the line "trees dripping percussion" in the second one, and the anaphora, "it is the sound of," and all those couplets that followed were so beautiful. Hallelujah! Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. And now, Mr. Stuke, Wayne himself. Thank you.
Yes. Yes. You remember? Little German names. My real name is Wayne Coker. They adopted me. They were nice people. I had no chance without the Stooks. I had no chance at this song either. I'm sorry that Tony was sick, but on other regards, the song was half done when we were due before. And I thought I had it all done yesterday, and then I looked at it and I went, okay. And then I realized, is it a poem? Where's the music? I hadn't written any music for it, so I did that today. So let me get in here. Is this okay? Am I sound-wise? Okay, right. Okay. Someday, running when my knees are aching, my legs feel heavy and my chest is tight, and my engine's sputtering like a beat-up old Chevy. I need some driving rock songs to alleviate my worries, synchronizing my steps to a pounding rhythm. A few minutes later, my engine, well, it's purring like a kitten. When the wind blows gentle, I raise my sails and I listen to Lightfoot's love songs to his sailboat in the bay where he sails and the water glistens. With me no loud motors are heard, just the whistle of the wind around me. Just me and Mother Nature, where she prevails all around. Driving long distances up toward the city, I drown out the hectic noises with Motown CDs, like Marvin Gaye's cries for civil justice and the poverty he saw, or maybe just the passion for a woman he swears he'll love eternally. Lying on the beach alone, I hum to the Beach Boys classics, harmonizing in a tenor voice. They take me away to California, surfing pretty girls, old Chevys, Woody's on the beach, where days seem long and the boards were bigger and carried by the heavies. One day last year on our sandbar beach, I heard a song about someone's little girl, about the moon and the stars, and how she mesmerized all who met her. I actually welled up listening to it. I thought of our two grown girls and granddaughters. I've covered the song, I've named the writer each time that I play it. Music can move you just when you don't expect it. They say music's and musicians never retire, and God, I hope that's true.
Thank you, Wayne. Wayne loves to do travelogues, sort of stream of conscious travelogues, but you did get Motown and the Beach Boys in there, so I'm all the way up with that. Thank you so much. That was lovely. And now a duo one person that we know from before, one person that we are welcoming tonight for the first time. Mike Kelly, welcome to the microphone. Come on up with Gothbro.
No. You sit wherever you want, and okay, hopefully I'm in tune. Hi, I'm Mike Kelly. Is this on? And that's Sean Boyce. It's on, but you can't hear it. I can hear it. Okay. Hello, said the fellow in yellow to the man in red about the lady in green. And she's sitting on the sidewalk. Yeah, she's waiting for the light to change. Hello, said the fellow in yellow to the man in red. Talking about the lady in green. And she's sitting on the sidewalk. Yeah, she's just waiting for the light to change. She's just waiting for the light to change. Hello. All right. One more. Well, I've seen you, and you're walking backwards. Yeah, I've seen you, and you're upside down. Yeah, you're walking backwards. Oh, you're upside down. Yeah, seen you walking, and you're not going anywhere. Yeah, hear you talking, but you're not saying anything. Oh, yeah, she's so sweet, such a nice treat. She lights up the lights on a dark street, and I've seen you, and you're walking backwards. Yeah, you're upside down. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mike Kelly. Thank you so much for coming tonight. Gothro, so nice to see you again, too. Um, walking backwards and upside down. I'm going to have to think about that. I can do the sitting and waiting for the light to change. I'm okay with that one. Okay. Ellen Todd. Sh Ellen Todd, you look like a sunset. It's beautiful.
I'm Ellen Todd, and I don't do poetry or sing. I do essays. Music has always been an important part of my life, although my ex-husband didn't quite understand it, that I would fall asleep when we would go to symphony, so he stopped subscribing. He didn't understand. I heard all the music very deeply. I never snored, and I even clapped at all of the right places. But I think rather than something like symphony, running across unexpected music can really be the best experiences. We recently had a special vacation in France where we saw a lot of unexpected and heard a lot of unexpected music. The first one was coming around a corner and seeing a man who was definitely performing to make a living on the street corner. He was wearing a stereotypical striped shirt and a red beret while he was doing his accordion. He was very good, and I took a video of him, so I had to drop a few euros into his open music case. Then later that day, we heard music. We couldn't tell where it was coming from. And we saw people looking over a wall into a little arena below. We went and looked too, and there was a cappella choral group singing. And they finished a song that they did really well. They started it over again, and they flubbed it terribly, and they all broke out laughing. And then they started again and performed it to perfection. I wonder if they were actually practicing for something that was happening a couple of weeks later. France does this thing for the solstice called La Fête de la Musique, or in English they call it Make Music Day. I prefer the poetry of the French term. We happened to arrive back in Paris on the 21st, and we found people setting up a little tent in front of the apartment next door to our building. And then they started playing jazz, sort of in the style of Wynton Marsalis. It was really cool to listen to them because I love that music. But we had to go in search of dinner, so we went out, and again we heard music that we couldn't see, and again we had to look over a wall. Down by the banks of the Seine, there was a big brass band with a drummer. And that was really good. And we kept on going, and there was a man with a didgeridoo, and somehow he was managed to play this long wooden African instrument that makes a deep moaning sound at the same time that he was tapping on a leather drum. I don't know how he had that much coordination. I couldn't do that. Kept going a little bit further, and there was a man who, we heard just a little bit of him. He was really good. But he said, does anybody in the audience have an instrument? Do they want to come down and perform too? And a young man came down with his guitar, and the experienced musician helped him adjust his strap and stood behind him. And as he started to sing, and he flubbed up, the older guy said, it's okay, got him started again, and he did a fantastic performance. We walked a little further into Paris, and in front of the Hotel de Ville was this huge crowd, the biggest crowd that we saw at this event. And there was a symphonic orchestra and an opera singer. And that was really fantastic. Well, we still needed dinner. We bypassed all the street vendors selling hot dogs and other things and kept going to find dinner. I could talk about French food, but if I did, I'd never get back and finish talking about music. So we continued walking around, enjoying other music until, as we were coming back across the Seine towards our apartment, there were a couple of people with, I think it was an alto and a bass saxophone. And they were really good. That was really cool. Then we got back to our apartment, and the jazz group was gone, replaced by some sort of new age music and some people in white kimono type costumes doing a lightsaber dance, something I had never seen before. I don't think I have ever had a night where I have experienced so many different kinds of music. It was such a joyous, energy-filled evening. I never once thought about falling asleep to that music, but I have wondered, wouldn't it be fun if Falmouth had a Fête de la Musique? I wonder what kind of music we would hear in Falmouth.
Mon ami, merci, merci for taking us on your lovely journey through the French countryside and the Paris. Thank you so much. A good thing we're Facebook friends, and I did get to see a lot of what she saw. So, and now for something different, John Jackson.
Okay, my name is John Jackson. I was also on vacation with that fabulous woman. Not mon ami, ma ami. Ah. Better? Okay. She keeps track. You see my face all the time. You need to see it on television now? Okay. My name is John Jackson. Mostly my gig is political limericks. Limericksofprotest.com is the website. I was not as prolific as usual, but I do have a few. News that happened since the last time we taped. Oh, there was some. Jury heard what the witnesses were telling. They found the evidence compelling. And they were without the shadow of a doubt. And now Donald Trump is a felon. Inspiration by choice or by chance. So I'm warning you all in advance. I'm not over fond of reading Le Monde. I won't post many limericks from France. The convict got really high marks for the clarity of his remarks. His Vegas elocution, he'd prefer electrocution than having to deal with the sharks. Louisiana, as I said in the news, for the religious text they will use, for indoctrination. It will shock the nation when their children convert to be Jews. Our trip to France close to perfection, but we head in the homeward direction. I feel no shame to miss the Olympic Games, and we get out before the French election. The Supreme Court decision, it stings, and I fear the mayhem it brings. If anyone bothers to invoke founding fathers, it's clear they knew something about kings. Now, for something totally different. Music, music, music. The theme suggests I should write a song, and the original recording date of Poetic License would have Ellen and me emailing it in from France, so there's the subject of the song I must write, right? I had trouble getting lyrics into shape to sing, and I figured out why. I'm a better lyricist than I am a composer. Most of my tunes are borrowed or just plain stolen. My song, The Mute Kangaroo, lyrics are sung to the tune of Sweet Betsy from Pike, and the Mai Tai song is to the tune of Chopsticks. So the problem, the tune in my head all through the trip to France is an absolute bear to put words to. Young and Fine by the fusion jazz group Weather Report. It was a challenge for me to remember what the song was. And when we returned to Paris for our last weekend abroad, I not only figured out what that song was that was my earworm, but more importantly, why. There's a few measures toward the end of the song where there's a repeated rill. That is the sound of the ubiquitous French emergency siren. So every time something went wrong, there I am, stuck back in Young and Fine. So, the song is incomplete. Here is what we did on our summer vacation, set to the tune by Joseph Zawinul of Weather Report, Young and Fine. She prefers to ride, I prefer to drive. She's at my side till we at last arrive. I told Hertz, give me a French car, Renault or Peugeot. They said, here's a Jeep, let's go. Using Google GPS to keep us in line. Google's French accent's worse than mine. Montmartre, Mont Saint-Michel, Cancale, the castle at Fougères. So many stairs, a tasting of some wine, a tasting of some cheese. That was nice, may I have more, please? Many, many lyrics not written. Okay. And it concludes with, I prefer to drive, my love prefers to ride. Long as I'm alive, she is still my bride. Thank you.
Thank you, John. That was a wonderful report with the limericks. You did keep charge of what was going on. But I really, 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 I have to go listen to Weather Report. I don't think I know that song. You've inspired me. Thank you. Now for two other not new musicians. They are wonderful musicians who I know from Shivrix. It's Kim Bilderbeck and Mark Thibodeau. Come on up, guys. Let's hear what you got.
So we're called the B-side. My name's Mark. This is Kim. We've been playing together 3 months, about 3 months. And we write songs together, and people often ask, how do you come up with songs? Where do they come from? And I try to make stuff up, but in reality, I don't really know. But what I will tell you, at the base of every song, whether it's good or bad, is emotion. This song I call Turntable. Every time I turn on that old turntable, every time I lay that record down, the vinyl crack, that'll fade. Of the track made me ache to become that old time. Yeah, rock and roll. Woo! Rock and roll. To recall that old time. Yeah, rock and roll. Whoa! Music took me to the desert, gave me a horse with no name. It's good vibrations, expectations. Music does it run through your mind to become that old time? Whoa, yeah, rock and roll. Yeah, rock and roll. Yeah, 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 rock and roll. Thank you. With the B-side.
Thank you. Kim, thank you, Mark. Thank you, newbies, for coming and rocking our life tonight. That turntable, that's a good name for a song. Jeff Brown. I asked Jeff to come because I love the way that he plays the guitar and I love his singing voice. So I asked him to come tonight. Thank you.
Well, it's a very different room than I've ever played before. This is kind of like somewhere where the real guys might play. And I don't want to be presumptuous, but I feel like I should have a little more mic on the guitar. So we'll go ahead and do that. All right, so I'm going to play one of my songs, one of the early songs. I believe Brenda said she liked it, so I will play that one. When I'm walking by myself and I'm thinking about no one else and how I walked away, I was looking for another way. Well, I watched her walk away, and I tried to think of something to say. Well, I said I'd be less like me if only. But now I'm falling down, yeah, I'm falling. The sunshine clouds my eyes, I fear. One day, see things more clear. But now I'm falling down, yeah, I'm falling. Thank you. Was that 4 minutes? I could play another one if you were of a mind to let me. It's another one of mine about the same era. Stopped by to see you just the other day.
Sometimes when we talk, I don't know what you mean, but then I see you smile at me, and I know where I was meant to be. Well, now I'm walking away from you, and I hear you call out my name. So I stop and turn to see what's going on. There it is again, it's that smile you got on. Now every time that I close my eyes, I go back and remember the times. Every time that I think of you, oh, I can't help it, baby, I smile too. Well, now I'm older, finding my way. Sometimes I wish I could go back to that day I first saw you. You left me standing there, didn't know what to do. Now every time that I close my eyes, I go back and remember the times. Every time that I think of you, oh, I can't help it, baby, I smile too. Thank you very much. I know I'm probably taking too much time, but I front a band that I just started last fall or last spring called UBU. The big letter U, big letter B, big letter Y, OU. So keep an eye out, we might play somewhere. After I have shoulder surgery coming up this week, so I'll be off for a little while, but thank you very much. Thank you, Brenda.
Thank you, Jeff. As promised, 2 great songs. Thank you so much. And also, thank you for coming as a newbie player for Poetic License. And thank you for going last. That's, I think first and last are the hard positions. But Sue Beth Carlson is not here tonight, although several of the players who are here tonight are courtesy of her efforts. And occasionally we will videotape something that gets added to the night's performance. And Sue Beth she's my right-hand friend. She's my right-hand cohort here at Poetic License. So I know she sent something into Tony Sedera, and they're going to place that in the roster tonight. So love you, Sue.
I speak English and I think in English, except when I speak Spanish. Then I think in Spanish. But I know some people who think in English, then translate to Spanish in their heads, and then speak Spanish by translation. That's how song language has been for me. This poem is called First Language. When I hear the language of music, it touches deep and vibrates true. But I mostly speak it through translation and connection with the notes that I first knew. I speak poetry from everywhere. I often think in rhyming couplets as it comes. And dance, the dance is as a native tongue. It speaks without thought as to where it's from. And in the deep resonance of your voice in the morning, in the light that's dancing in your eyes, in the breath of your smile when you hear me, in the warmth of your touch as you draw me nigh. The language of love holds them all in every word, in every note, in every movement as it flows. It resounds in minds and hearts and in all the world where'er it goes. This is the chorus of a song called Open Hearts that I often sing as part of Labyrinth events. Every heart plays its own song here under the sun. It's a drum deep within that connects us as one. Every heart plays its own song here under the sun. It's a drum deep within that connects us as one.
I was going to do another poem, but I forgot to bring that poem. So I'm not going to do another poem. I love to sing the blues. I've been singing for 40 years, mostly, jazz standards and the American songbook songs, and some light pop, but really blues is what gets my heart moving fast. And this song is something that I wrote. It's the first bluesy kind of a song I ever wrote. So I'm going to sing that because I know it. Although I'm not a bluesy, sad kind of person, I still love singing the blues. It's called Come Home. I'm tired of wondering where you are. I'm tired of sleeping alone. I'm tired of watching. I'm tired of weeping. Oh, baby, won't you please come home? My cigarette sighs in the ashtray. The dark's lonely company. I call your name softly, but nobody answers. So baby, won't you come on home to me? I'm so lonesome, I don't know up from down. I can't stand the thought of you fooling around. No, nobody loves you, not the way I do. You're my angel, you're my heartbreak. You know it's true. I stand by the window, I watch a while. I'll watch till my eyes cannot see. It is never too late. Darn, you know I'm gonna wait. Oh, baby, won't you come on home? Baby, won't you come home? Baby, won't you come on home to me? Oh, yeah. All right. Tonight's performance, which will be edited, will be shown on FCTV's Channel 6, also streamed on the FCTV website at fctv.org, on YouTube, as well as via Roku and Apple TV. So there's a lot of places you can find it. And like Tony told us, probably in about a week it'll be edited and put up on all these sites. Friends out there in TV land, if you would like to be a performer here on FCTV at Poetic License, please join us. The next Poetic License is Thursday, August 22nd. The suggested theme will be Dog Days. Dog Days. Honey, it's perfect for August. And a heads up about the future, the theme for September 26th will be grandparents. You can sign up to be a performer by sending a text to our producer, Tony Sedera. His email is tony@fctv.org. Or you can simply come to the studio here on Dillingham Avenue and watch the performance live as part of the audience. Thank you again, Tony, for your wonderful, wonderful producing and editing. Thanks to our illustrious camera crew, David Eisenberg and Nancy Stafford, who have been here all night with us. And thank you, performers. How kind of you to come tonight and share your talents and your hearts. So, until we meet again, peace and shine on.